Good evening. Good morning, everyone. We're going to continue our availabilities this evening. We are currently joined by Harrison Burton, driver of the number 21 Ford for the Wood Brothers, crew chief Jeremy Bolins, and members of the Wood Brothers leadership, Len Wood, Eddie Wood, and John Wood. Congratulations, everyone. Harrison, we'll start with you. First win, 100th win for the organization. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I've struggled in all the interviews I've done. Sorry we're so late. I've done like a million interviews. I've struggled to put it into words. For me, just the circumstances, obviously, the way the last 3 years have gone has not been the way I wanted to represent myself, the way I wanted to represent this team. And then to have the kind of walls closing in on, there's a definite end to the my time to get to drive this historic car and then to find a way to win while those walls are kind of closing in, to me is really, really special. It almost makes the last 3 years worth it, but I would have much rather won before now. But it's just been so hard, and that's the way it should be. The Cup Series is really, really hard. But to get the Wood Brothers 100th win, to get my very first Cup win, it's really, really hard to put in words. I cried my whole cool-down lap. I've never cried after a race win ever in my life. Never even thought about crying after a race win, but this one just means a lot.
Awesome. And Jeremy, we'll go to you. Can you talk us through a little bit about tonight's race strategy, anything you can share, and how you guys got to this win?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you look at speedway racing in general, there's always a little bit of a luck factor, right? You have to miss the wrecks. And, we've been on the bad end of that a lot. And, the odds are in your favor when you're at that point. So tonight, Harrison and Jason Jarrett did a great job of talking their way through the wrecks and missing everything. And, even the last one that we missed, we had the discussion on the radio of, did you flat spot the tires? I don't think I did, but I might have. But, we're in a spot where the only thing that mattered was winning. And so we took the chance of staying out and taking that gamble. And I'm almost speechless of sitting here thinking that I'm sitting at a table with Eddie Wood and Len Wood and John Wood and Bailey Wood and Harrison with the 100th win. So everything past that just doesn't really matter right now.
And I'll open this one up to Len, Eddie, or John. Can you guys tell us what this win here means to your organization?
I think Len would say a lot of money.
I would say that's our 8th decade of winning NASCAR races. I think that's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just beyond words, just like Harrison said. These races are so hard to win. It doesn't matter where they are, whether it's short tracks, road courses, speedways, whatever it is, they're hard to win. And, I don't really have the words I just want to thank everybody that supported us, Harrison has done such a great job tonight. I mean, missing those wrecks, it just seemed like, they run a little while and then, have another crash. And he was so close, just a matter of, I'm not even going to say an inch. That one wreck, the early one seemed like about like a quarter of an inch, but it just means so much to our team to finally get that other win. And I'm looking forward to putting, we've got a wall in front of our museum that's got 21 winners. That's 21 different drivers that's won races in our cars. And I get to put him up next week. But
tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, probably tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah, it is tomorrow.
Today. Yeah, today.
I'll just say, like, the irony, we sat in these seats, I don't remember, maybe 2016, when we didn't get a charter, and we were talking about it, and it was the lowest point of lows. And we had to do it. We had to come here, face the music, and say, I think we'll be okay. And we are. You're going to make me cry. And I don't cry. That's the part that's just so surreal in this is sitting in the same seat and thinking of where we were and where we are now. You know, you go from the lowest of lows to just on top of it. And I don't know what else to say.
I mean, it's like John said. I mean, the people that supported us for years, you know, Ford Motor Company, and I mean, there's so many things in you guys' life, everybody's life, that one phone call or one place you happen to be at a certain time, you know, timing is everything, they say, but you know, there was a phone call from Edsel Ford back in 2008, and we were really struggling, and he said, I'm going to have a gentleman call you tomorrow that's going to help you. And that man's name was Jim Farley, who is now the CEO of Ford Motor Company. So that's how far back things go. You know, our family has raised Ford Motor Company products since the beginning, 1950. And I think that's one of the most things I'm really, really, really proud of. And I'm proud of this young man right here.
Well, congratulations to all of you. We'll go ahead and open up for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand and we will get a mic over to you. We'll start down here with Zach and Cameron and Bob, and we'll keep going from there.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Congratulations to all of you. Eddie, I'll start with you, and maybe for John as well, but what do you see from Harrison behind the scenes that the general public is oblivious to? The work and effort that he puts in that has led to this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I know all you know Harrison, but Harrison's the type kid, when you see him, you want to hug him. He's just a good kid, and you know he's like the rest of us. You know, he's been beat up lately, and for things to turn around like this, you know, and he did a great job tonight. I mean, that last restart, he outrun Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he earned this one.
I don't know whether you know that or not. But he outrun Kyle Busch. And that's a day's work right there, because you know he's a two-time champion. I said something a while ago about, I was talking to Jeff. Winning this race affects so many people in a good way. I mean, it just helps everything in every direction, and I'm just honored to be in this room with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but pull for him. Like that's the thing about Harrison that I think a lot of our fan base, just doesn't see. And when you're running bad, you don't get a lot of coverage. You don't get the chance to have that exposure and opportunity to show people who you are. And this is a great time to do that. And you see the real Harrison sitting here, and we're so stoked to be with him. And it's, again, you just can't help but want the best for him. He's not like most of them.
Yeah, I want to chime in here. Like this, the question wasn't directed at me, but I've probably worked with him closer than anybody up here for the last, I don't know, however many races. And, you know, we've not performed like we want to, and neither one of us, right? Our expectations are much higher. It's not been the year we wanted, but nobody's quit. Nobody on the team, certainly not Harrison. And I will sit here and tell you that, you know, I've worked with a lot of drivers over the years, and some guys are quicker than others to point fingers when things aren't going right. And not once has he questioned anything or questioned us or what we were doing. We all just kind of kept pulling the rope the right direction, and good things happen.
Thank you for that. And Harrison, understanding the history of this team, the drivers who have won for this team, knowing that your face is going to be among them at the Wood Brothers Museum as well, has any of that set in for you?
No, not at all. But what's special is what all these guys just said to me. I mean, yeah, it's been like they said, we haven't performed the way we wanted to, but I try and, you know, show up the same way every day, like we have a chance to win the next weekend, because you do. I mean, it resets every weekend. How you finish last weekend doesn't matter this weekend, and the way our format is, I knew, especially coming to here, Darlington, and now Atlanta after that. And now that we're in the playoffs, those are all great racetracks for us and great racetracks for this race team. And you just don't quit. I mean, yeah, it means so much. Especially when I was the first year, I wanted to be so badly with those guys that were up on the wall. And I still did, obviously, but to go through what we went through, to go through what I've gone through, doubting myself, doubting everything. I mean, I didn't know if I wanted to do this anymore at times. I mean, it's so hard, and when you get kicked in the teeth over and over and over and over again, you really find out who you are and why you do what you do, and it's for moments like this that you just can't put into words, and have all these people next to me that still were believing in me, still were trying every weekend to try and put their best foot forward so I could put my best foot forward. It's just really, really special, really, really cool. And so, like I said earlier, when the walls are closing in, I think we won the 100th Wood Brother win in the most Wood Brother way possible. I mean, we had been down and out, and we came back swinging, and we're going to continue to do that until my time here is up. And, I know these guys are going to continue to do that in the future as well.
We'll go to Cameron, then to Bob.
Cameron Richardson, NASCAR.com. Harrison, you, Todd Gillen, Austin Cindric all came into the Cup Series together. Off the track, you guys seem like a pretty tight-knit bunch. Given the successes that they've had this year, especially with Cindric winning at Gateway, just how much more does tonight mean, given, and how important is that friendship to have, given that you guys are still trying to improve yourselves, and but now you all can share your successes together?
Yeah, it's been pretty special. It's pretty rare you get a group of friends like that, especially as competitors. I was the best man in Todd's wedding. Cindric's not married, so I wasn't that yet, but I don't know if I will be or not. But those guys were the first. Todd came and hugged me on the front straightaway. I think Austin almost blew up his engine, revving it next to me and fist pumping. And we had dinner actually in Michigan during the rain delay. And we were all sitting there, and we were like, very selfishly, all of us were thinking it was us, right? But we were all saying, the winner of the Daytona race is sitting at this table, which is ridiculous that it worked out that way because the odds are so slim. But that was pretty cool. And then this little dude right here who's asleep told me all day over and over and over and over again that I was going to win and that today was my day. And so it was just cool how, sitting through the restart, you're thinking about that. Like, oh, I guess the other guys are kind of towards the back. I got to carry it for the friendship and carry it for him who told me I was going to win. So it's pretty neat.
We'll go to Bob, then Anthony, then John.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. Harrison, did you have confidence in yourself going into the final restart, or
Damn right
it's not really, not really a position that you've been in. So, we've heard other guys say, "Man, I got to learn how to win again."
Yeah, I did. I've been really fortunate and won a lot of races when I was younger. At New Smyrna Speedway and been racing. I remember racing Ty Majeski every night and having to beat him and looking over and thinking, he was older than me and he was going to be better than me on this restart, and finding a way to beat him. And him in a Super late model, he's really, 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 really hard to beat. And then you look at Kyle Busch in a cup car next to you and think kind of the same thing. And so you just have to rely on the film you've watched, rely on the situations I've been in. I've been fortunate to to lead races at this racetrack, make mistakes at this racetrack, and in situations that, I had a chance to win, but not like tonight when you have a restart on the front row with a green-white checkered. And so I kind of just relied on that and relied on, the opportunity and just focus in the moment on really getting my side drafts right and keeping Parker Retzlaff hooked up, who, by the way, in his second Cup race ever, I think, did one of the best jobs I've ever seen pushing. He had me crossed up a few times where I was sideways out of control. And I could tell even through the restart, he gave me space enough to where I could gather the car and then push me again. And you see a lot of guys just kind of run through you in that moment, especially at the end of these races. So huge hats off to him. I'd owe him, I don't even know how old he is. I'll owe him a beer, I guess, if he's old enough or what. But He did a great job for sure.
And obviously, you haven't announced what you're doing next year. A lot of talk potential could be in any of the 3 national series. Were you looking at these last 12 races as not knowing whether you'll ever be back in Cup again, or do you look at it like, I know I'll work myself back and I'm not going to put the pressure on myself. I've got to win in these next 12.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you never know when you have a chance to drive again. You never know when you have a chance. Could all fall apart tomorrow. This is such a privilege to do every weekend. Even, if you run in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series or late models, it's just such a privilege to get to drive a race car. And I get the privilege to drive the number 21 for Wood Brothers Racing. And, that to me is all you need, right? Like, I've had a chance to do that for 3 years, to work with these guys for 3 years, learn all I can. I'm confident in myself as a driver that I can do things when I'm, at my best. And tonight I feel like I was at my best, and I feel like it worked out, and obviously we got fortunate at times too. But when the chips are down, we all did a good job, and Jason Jarrett, my spotter, did a good job of making things work out perfectly.
We'll go to Anthony, and then we'll make our way this way. We'll go to John and Kelly and Deb.
Anthony Damcott, frontstretch.com. This question's really for any of you on stage, but I'd like to hear Harrison's thoughts. The Wood Brothers in Daytona is such a winning combination. I believe this is the 15th time that the Wood Brothers have gone to victory lane here at Daytona.
That's pretty good.
So,
pretty good.
Combine that with the 100th victory. How special is it to get it done here at a track where you guys have had a lot of success before?
You guys or me first? I'll go. I mean, I wasn't here for any of those. But what I do know is like Trevor Bain winning the Daytona 500, or Pearson. All these guys throughout the years, you see all these great finishes, and the 21's always involved. And to have my name above the door of the 21 crossing the line at Daytona, I mean, that's pretty awesome, right? I mean, that's just stuff as when you're racing quarter midgets and late models growing up, that's what you dream of, is a situation like this. And so it's just really cool. I don't know. I mean, just to be involved with this group and get to have spent the last 3 years with this group has been special, and now to win for them is even cooler.
All right, we will go to John.
I did that good. You guys didn't do good.
John Newby, driver. So, Harrison, you kind of already addressed this answering Cameron's question, but when you see people like Logano, Blaney, all these strings of drivers coming to victory lane to congratulate you, even though they're upset they didn't win.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more special is it knowing that these competitors, your peers, guys you look up to, they want to make their way and be part of that celebration?
It's cool. I spent a lot of time with those guys, especially Joey, Ryan, Austin, as our kind of alliance members, and I've asked them a ton of questions and bothered them at times, and just tried to learn as much as I can from them, and try and do right by them as well, try and help them throughout the race, and hopefully it will be reciprocated at the end, and today it was, and then for Bubba Wallace to come up too, who I think that really hurt him in the point situation, for him to come up and say congratulations meant a lot to me. I know that takes a lot when you're a competitor, and he's been working really hard to try and get in the playoffs. It's just how the sport is. It's so cutthroat, and for those guys that you race in week in and race with week in and week out, to say congratulations is really cool, and means a lot.
We'll go to Kelly, then to Deb, then to Claire and Chris, and then Dustin.
Kelly, CrandallRacer.com. John, you and I had a conversation for the podcast a couple weeks ago, and you said that since you've been in this new role, something you've found is how much you enjoy or how much it's meant to wear Wood Brothers racing gear. How much will you be wearing now, and how much more does it mean having this under your belt?
Get a collar. It's got to step it up.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
See, they stay on my ass about that.
I like the T-shirt.
Like it's a different time now,
Yeah, I like it.
It is. Agree to disagree.
You see that? I saw that.
It's. I find myself wearing this stuff like a hat. Like I don't even wear hats, and it's like I'm now a part of this. And like I talked with you about in the podcast, it's this win in 2017, I would have been in that back corner looking at my watch. How much longer is this going to take? I didn't feel a part of it. But now it's like, it's just different. And I think it took that promotion for me to feel that way. I haven't really done anything. I mean, I'll take the credit for it, and the change in leadership is what brought us here. But I mean, the truth is, I haven't done anything. But yeah, I mean, we had a big. It was like therapy when I talked to you. But yeah, I'm really proud of these guys, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
We'll go to Deb.
Deb Williams, Auto Week. Jeremy, this is for you. When we were here in February on Media Day, Harrison told us that you had taken him aside and told him he needed to take more of a leadership role this year. How have you seen him mature this year as a driver and as a person?
You know, I just, it's like I told him, like, if you want to take the next step as a driver, that's a big part of it, right, is being the leader of the team. Like, we can prepare the cars and we can prepare him all week long, but when the race starts, it's really up to him to get the job done. And I think today is kind of like you look at the situation he's put in. Eddie alluded to it earlier, of having to race Kyle Busch at the end for the win. And I think there's a little bit of irony in the fact that, 99, Blaney had to race Kyle for the win. There's some irony there. And to see these guys, these young kids, step up when they get that opportunity, that's really what that means, right? Is trying to, you put yourself in that situation where you have to be, I can't help him at that point, right? We've done all we can do. He's got enough fuel. He's got good tires. Like, he's on the front row. I can't help him. We're not doing anything. We're a spectator like everybody else. And for him to step up and get in the position to do what he needed to do to win the race, that's what becoming a leader is as a driver. And, for him, it's just part of the process of growing and maturing and learning the things that, once you learn how to win, once you figure out what that feels like and what it took to get there, it gets a lot easier for these guys, I think, and Eddie told me when I started in 1999 that you never know when you're going to win the next one. So, for him, you got to savor the first one and work your butt off to get the next one.
Okay, thank you. And Harrison, how would you, from that day here on Media Day in February, how would you evaluate yourself as maturing and the change you've seen in yourself?
Yeah, I mean, if you told me then that I would be in the playoffs and have a race win, I'd be like, sweet. So that's cool. But as a person, I've just grown a lot in the hardship, and that's where you grow as a person, is when things are hard. I've just had to, more times than I want, I've had to go to the shop and look at a mistake I made on film, or look at a move I missed on film, or look at a wreck I couldn't control or whatever, and just all these things that seem to add up and add up and add up. And then it's going to be cool on Monday to go to the shop and be the race winner. I mean, that's really, really cool. So for me, I think I've grown a lot in that hardship, found out a lot about myself, found out what drives me, what makes me want to do this. And it's not necessarily the moments like this. I think it's the moments that lead up to this, the relationships I've formed with guys like the people at this table, the guys that work on the race car, the management at the Wood Brothers and at Team Penske, our alliance partner. I've made a lot of great friendships, and that means a lot. And to kind of find a way to come through for those guys is really, really, really cool. Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to Claire and then to Chris.
Claire B. Lang, a couple of moments of chaos during this race, obviously two big ones. You get to the end of the race, Kyle Busch is in the race. You're looking at him. In your mind, right, do you have to force yourself to think what a big moment it is, force it out of your mind? You see that you can win at Daytona, a huge win for you. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think the red flag was kind of nice, really, because I got to sit there and kind of work through that, work through what I wanted to do, what I needed to accomplish, what I wanted to do on the launch. If he did clear me like he did, what is my next move? What is my move after that? So I could kind of put a game plan together of, cover the bases, right? And obviously there's split-second decisions you have to make that are not scripted, right? But I could kind of come up with my own little game script of, okay, I want to do this to Kyle to slow him down if we're side by side going in turn one, or if he clears me, I need to get back to Christopher to pull him apart from Kyle so he doesn't have forward momentum and we don't get 3 rows back. And I was able to work through that, and it just made the last lap slow down until off of turn 4, and I was like, holy shit, I'm leading. It worked. That's cool. And then I had to make a few big blocks, and sorry for cussing, but I had to make a few big blocks, and just at that point, it's just you have to do it, right, or you're not going to win. And Jeremy, under the caution, told me about having to make the blocks that you need to make to win these races, and I got to make one of those, and it worked out, and it was sideways across the line doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but it worked out good, and we got the win.
And at the end of it, is there ever that moment you're like realizing you're going to do it, or do you really not do that till after?
I didn't do that till I crossed the line. You just, first off, you can't count out Kyle Busch, right? And
Yeah.
I was thinking, trying to put myself in his shoes of what is he thinking, what is he trying to do to pass me, where is his help with Christopher and all that, once I made the block and like pulled across his nose and kind of took all his energy by making a late block to where I obviously almost crashed, but that was what I needed to do to kind of take the energy away from him. Then I thought I had kind of done it, but until then I had I wasn't feeling comfortable out there, that's for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Chris and then over to Dustin.
I want to open this question to, and Chris Gall News Daytona Beach. I want to open this question both to you, Harrison, and to whomever in the woods would care to weigh in. So it seems like the common thread between you, Harrison, and the team is that this is a big family thing. Harrison, for you, your dad got to call your first win, and he got to run down there and give you a hug. And
Did you actually call it, or were you quiet? He's quiet. He keeps doing that. I won an Xfinity race, and he didn't say a dang word other than that he felt bad for Noah that I passed him on the last lap. What is that, dude? Like, you can be excited. It's okay. But no, I'll let you
This
finish.
is what
Sorry.
you call Harrison's opportunity to get back at Jeff.
Yeah, he's
That's
quiet. He has no microphone. I have a microphone, but
but yeah, you got to have that incredible moment with your dad that almost no other drivers get to have.
Yeah.
And then for the woods, you guys just climbed a heck of a mountain in NASCAR history as a team. You just put a huge milestone with all the history with this team. So for both you, Harrison, and for the woods, I would love to hear, how does this resonate differently from other wins that you guys have had in your careers because of that strong family aspect?
yeah, I guess I'll finish on my dad without making fun of him. He's been there for me. He's called me when I don't want to answer his phone call after a bad race, and talked me through what I need to do, how I need to handle things. He obviously, raised me, and my mom as well. Both raised me to be the guy that I am today, and I'm proud of that. Off the racetrack alone, and then to make the nights that my mom spent on the road quarter midget racing with me while my dad was cup racing, to make the effort that my dad took away from his cup racing opportunity to help me in quarter midgets and late model racing, to make that worth it to win at the cup level. I mean, I've been told by him that he's not basically proud of me based off of whether I win or lose. It's how I handle myself and what I do. But for me, winning is way better than losing. So, it's just cool to make that for them seem like it paid off. And for me, all those nights that I spent working and thinking and watching film, and my fiance Jenna watched me sit in the motorhome all day while she was bored out of her mind watching different Daytona races and how they ended. That's all I watched today, was how these races ended and what the people had to do to win. And it's cool to make that all worth it.
And anyone from the Wood brothers, I was wondering if you guys wanted to touch on that too.
basically, I mean, it's like he said, winning at Daytona, there's nothing better than winning at Daytona. And we start our season out here with the biggest race of the year, and Daytona is my favorite track. So winning here is bigger to me than just winning somewhere else. It's just special. Our dad raced on the beach, actually on the sand, and that was almost 75 years ago. I think he ran the first race he ever run on the sand was in 1953. So that's a long
awesome.
time ago. But I mean, like I said, winning Daytona is just really special for our family.
All right, we'll go ahead and go over to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports, for Harrison, and I guess also for any of the Woods, or even Jeremy. Look, you guys have gone through a whole lot here in the last 2 hours, and I'm sure there's just a rush of things that have taken place. But when things settle down, whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or whatever, of all the things that you're experiencing here in the last 2 to 3 hours, what are the things that you hope that you remember, that you hope you never forget and are able to take away? Because no matter what, even for the Wood Brothers, race win 101, 102, 103 is never going to feel like this. And Harrison, even if you win the Daytona 500 next time, it's not going to feel like this. What are the things that you hope that you remember from this night?
I hope I remember the feeling when you cross the line and you win. I hope I remember that like I said earlier, for the first time in my life, cried after I won. Hope I remember not doing a burnout, because Eddie last year told me if I win, do a burnout. That's not cool. So that was cool. My dad never did burnouts, so I kind of got to do the full picture there of the Alan Quickie kind of Polish victory lap there across the whole front stretch, and just waving at what seemed like a million fans out there was really cool. And then to me, what hit the most, when it hit home the most, was when I got out of the car, I turn around, and there's like everybody that's laid a finger on this race car, laid a finger on the media side of things, laid a finger on the management side of things, laid a finger on me and my life as far as raising me. And then my fiance, who's been at my side through all this stuff, I turn around, they're all right there. I mean, that's pretty cool. So watching them all run out and celebrate with me was awesome.
Kim was excited.
I can only imagine.
She was pumped.
I hope the pit box is okay. I'm sure you
I've
banged a
never
lot of
seen
things.
anybody twist themselves up the way she can contort at these intense races. It's and Jeff is just so, like he is right now, just it's such a contrast between the two.
I don't know.
We'll believe you on it. I mean, the thing for me, like I'm sitting here thinking like how bad I feel for the guys on the airplane that are waiting on us.
Oh gosh.
But the reason that this is happening is because so many people appreciate what these two have done for the sport, and they've just been here for so long and formed all these relationships that it just feels like it doesn't ever end. And that's just a testament to what they mean to so many people that are in this garage and fans alike. And it's really neat to just stand back and watch and see it, and see the caliber of people that go out of their way to say congratulations. You saw Lynn get up a second ago. That was Jim France that called him. And I mean, who bigger to get a phone call from? I'm sure that's why he ran over there and took the call.
Jim Farley is called.
And Jim Farley too. Like those are but to them, getting a call from them is the same as any one of the longtime fans in Stewart. Same thing. Like they treat everybody equally, and it's really just it's something to sit back and watch. It's really a neat experience.
All right, I know it's late. We have a few more questions. We're going to go up to the press box and see if they have anything. Press box, do you guys have any questions?
No questions from press box.
I thought this was a press
Thank
box.
you. Grace of God. We will come down here to Jerry. We'll go in the back to Jordan, and we're going to wrap up here with Zach.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. We all know Kyle Busch needs a win to continue his, career seasons in a row. You've raced for him in the past. He said there was a right way and a wrong way to beat you, and he wasn't going to do it the wrong way. What does that mean to you to have that respect from a guy like Kyle Busch?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, for a guy like Kyle Busch who has been, through what he's been through this year and kind of similar story where his expectations were higher than where their year has been, this was a chance for them to turn that around the way we did tonight, too. And he could have very easily wrecked me, I think. I mean, I wasn't in his shoes, but I was pretty sideways. So, for me, it means a lot. Kyle, I think, has done a lot for a lot of young kids' careers. And so, for him to race me the right way when I'm the guy that is, blowing points and if he wrecked me, I don't think people would really look twice about it, right? Like, it's just the way these races have gotten. And he did things the right way, and I think that means a lot for him as a person, and it's cool, for sure.
We'll go in the back to Jordan, and then, go ahead.
I just want to say that every Tuesday night at Millbridge, the little go-kart track, I sit with Tom Busch, which he's the only guy that's got a blanket to sit on. So, you don't get dirty. But I sit with him every Tuesday night. And when I see him this coming Tuesday, I want to tell him how proud I am of Kyle, the way he raced Harrison. That's the way you're supposed to do it. And they did it.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. This question's for John, and then anybody else who'd like to chime in. John, you said you were there in 2017, and you kind of took this in, and you've taken on a bigger leadership role over the last several years, the new appointment this year. Did doubt ever creep in at any point of saying, hey, are we going to get to that number, 100? Is that really going to happen?
I don't know that it's doubt. It's something that or at least I'd never thought about. Like, it just never crossed my mind. Like, the day you die or the day you get married, or I don't know. Like, it never crossed my mind. People would ask about it. They would say, like, do you have a logo for your 100th win? And it's like, why would I do that? Like, it's just not something that you think about. And it's not I'm not directing that at Harrison. It's just not something that you forecast. It's not something that you expect to experience. And then it happens, and it's like, I probably should have prepared for this a little bit better, because we didn't. I don't have a better answer other than, like, it's just something I never really thought about.
Come down here to Zach.
Harrison, I spoke with Jenna in Victory Lane there, and just to see her emotion, kind of just trying to soak in everything that's happening. She called the French Touch celebration just such a surreal moment. For you to be able to have that moment with her in the grass and lift her up, you could tell how special that was. What's going through your mind in that moment, and what has she meant to you through this whole journey as well?
That's a hard question to answer. I think I look back at just the things that I've done. She's videoing me, so I got to say something good. I look back on the things that I have screwed up at, or the things I haven't done right. I always try to do right, and I always try to do the right thing. And just even the way my Cup career has gone, and I've never had someone that's been committed to me the way that she's been since we were 15 years old. We've been together from really forever for me, in my entire high school, her entire college. I didn't go to college, but her entire college. We've just been through the failures, been through the success together, and she never has changed the way she looks at me because of my finishing position, or because of good or bad. She just, first off, when we first started dating, she didn't care, and now that we're engaged, she's invested in me, and she helps me, motivates me to do the right thing, and to share that moment with her is just amazing. Yep.
All right, and go ahead.
Best way to celebrate is just go ahead and get married.
Yeah, that's what
I've been telling her that all day.
Yeah, I know. You guys told me that in the off week too. For sure.
And with that, inspection has cleared. You guys are officially the winners.
I was going to say, Pockers, you can go ahead and tweet that. We're good.
Bob ain't listening to you. He's busy.
There you go.
That's right.
Tweet it.
Thank you all for your time and congratulations.
Thank you.